Hey, it's Madeline and Lauren, and for our 910 project, we decided to do the video blog, the vlog, and so we're going to be talking about 910 and how 9/11 just ties into it and the effects that it had on the four main characters.
So the four characters live in different parts of the U.S. One lives in California, the other Ohio, one Pennsylvania, and then another in New York. 9/10 all affected them, but it affected them all in different ways, and that's basically what this story is talking about. Is it switches point of view a lot, and then it will explain how it affected them. Like there's this one Muslim girl, and it's how she was having trouble fitting in before, to where now she has even more trouble fitting in.
And then there's another character, Amy, who one of the perspectives is of her too, and she's having trouble with her parents, like, because she thinks they're going to get divorced since her mom's in New York and her dad's in Los Angeles with her. She thinks that her parents are going to get a divorce and her mom's seeing somebody else, but she's just like stressed out about that. And then she's just moved, so she's trying to figure out how to make friends at a new school, and so she's just, kind of confused.
And the friends that she's made so far aren't really good friends, and they're the ones who kind of persuade her to think that her parents are getting divorced. And then the kid who lives in Pennsylvania, his name is Will, he just lost his dad in a tragic accident. So he's having to deal with having to take care of his mom and his two sisters, along with going to school and having everyone feel bad for him and stuff. And he has like girl trouble too. So he just has a bunch going on in his life.
And then the fourth perspective and main character is Sergio, who lives in Brooklyn, New York, and he lives with his grandma because both of his parents left him. And so he's going through on his normal life, living with his grandma, and he decides to run away to the runway and to the subway, I'm sorry, and meets this nice firefighter, and he talks to him, and the firefighter becomes like a brother to him, and they become really, really close and bonded. And I think it's cool that he actually had someone there who could be there for him and who could teach him stuff and like go out to lunch with him and who he could spend time with.
So the one thing these characters sort of all had in common was they were all going through something big, and then during the attack, their lives just got worse, sort of. Because, like, the firefighter that Sergio knew, he had to go into the towers to help get people out, and that made Sergio really scared and worried about him a bunch. And then Amy's mom traveling everywhere and stuff, using planes. And then Will, he's just still kind of getting over his dad and taking care of his family. And then Nahid, she's the Muslim. Now she has even more people judging her because everyone believes that it was Muslims who were in the planes and killed all those people.
And I know one thing we agreed that like we didn't like about the book was like that they changed perspectives every chapter. They didn't have chapters, like they had one character's perspective, the next chapter was another character's, and then another's. They just like always switched back and forth, so it was like hard to keep up. But overall, to me, really, I think it was overall a good book. Like there was not a lot of stuff that I didn't like about it. It was really good. Like how they explained the characters and their backstories and how their lives are and everything. It was like they did really good on it.
And like what she was saying about the point of view, it really just depends on like who you are and how you like to read things. Because like some people like to read and have the same point of view for the entire story or series or stuff, and others like it when it switches up point of view. That's just one thing that we didn't really like about the book. But besides that, it had like she said, really great at explaining their backstory about how life is affecting them, and then about how the attack affects people of different culture and completely different lives in different parts of the U.S., how it all affected them.
And then I would say I would recommend this book to anyone who likes history, who wants to read about 9/11 or get more information, or just read for fun, because this book was like a really fun book to read, and I honestly really enjoyed it better than most books that I'm reading.
It was really interesting because you kind of hear from the perspective of people who are sort of living today with us, because most kids our age, we kids our age didn't experience it at all. We just hear stories and we think, oh, that's scary, yeah, but that's not so bad, and that's not going to happen again and stuff like that. But you still kind of need to know the history so it doesn't repeat itself. So this is like a really good book for like teachers to use for their class to read, like we did, to kind of teach them more about 9/11. So if you want to read this book, it's called 9/10 by Nora Rayleigh Baskin.
Yeah.
And then there are a bunch of other books about 9/11 on it, but this is just the one we read. There are other books like Towers Falling and Ground Zero, or like the I Survived series thing. There's one on those, and like just thousands of other books. So if you want to find out more about Will, Amy, Nahid, and Sergio and how they figure out and solve their problems, then you have to read the book 9/10 by Nora Rayleigh Baskin.